present here. As said by Saint Augustine, the world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page.
This morning, we turn that page together as we gather for the Round Square Conference 2026. On behalf of the Rajkumar College, Rajkot, we extend a warm and a heartfelt welcome to our keynote speaker, Dr. Divya Bhanu Singh ji, members of the Rajkumar College Board, our respected principal, Mr. Yash Saxena, our esteemed guests, teachers, and our young delegates from India and across the globe.
Your presence reminds us that when minds meet, boundaries blur and ideas take flight. As we begin, let us remember that a good start sets the tone, and we are delighted to take this first step together.
We shall now proceed with the flag ceremony, a symbol of unity, respect, and international understanding.
Round Square. Bishop Druids College. Delhi College. Thames Modern Academy, Dubai. My gracious audience, please keep clapping for the schools with enthusiasm. LK Singhania Center for Education, Bhutan. Mayo College. Mayo College Girls School. Modern School, Barakhamba Road, Delhi. Pathway Girls School. Rajkumar College, Raipur. My wonderful audience, please keep the momentum with loud clapping. Rajmata Krishna Kumari Girls Public School. Regent International School, Bangkok. Kanya Vidyalaya, Gwalior.
Seth Anandram Jaipuria School, Kanpur. Shiv Nadar School, Noida. Singapore International School. An excellent audience. Please keep clapping as joyfully as you may. The Emerald Heights International School. The Lawrence School, Senar. The Shri Ram School, Aravali. The Shri Ram School, Mulsar.
The theme of this conference is Maned Warriors Beyond Frontiers. Imagine this conference beginning not with a speech by adults, but with a thought from a child, someone just like us. During a student competition held in school, students were asked a simple yet powerful question: what does strength really mean? One child did not think of power, weapons, or winning. Instead, they spoke of courage that protects, leadership that cares, and strength that makes space for others. That is where Maned Warriors Beyond Frontiers was born. To these students, the lion was not merely the king of the jungle, it was a guardian. Inspired by Gir National Park, the only home of the Asiatic lion, the idea emerged from a place where humans and wildlife live side by side. Gir teaches us that true strength is not about domination, but about balance, respect, and coexistence. A maned warrior in a child's mind is not someone who fights, but someone who protects the weak, speaks up for what is right, and understands that leadership begins with kindness. A maned warrior knows that being brave also means being responsible.
As human settlements expand, the lions of Gir are forced to adapt and share their shrinking home. These maned warriors redefine strength as shared survival. Their story reminds us that nature does not recognize human-made borders and that it is our responsibility to protect shared spaces so all life can thrive together. This child-inspired idea reminds us that we do not need to be older to be wiser. Our voices matter, our choices matter, and even the smallest step taken with the right intention can lead to meaningful change. Today, as children speaking to children, we carry this idea forward. Let us think beyond ourselves, beyond borders, and beyond limits. Let us lead with courage, act with empathy, and walk this journey together as true maned warriors beyond frontiers.
As this vision took shape, it was brought to life through the creativity and dedication of our students. We extend our sincere appreciation to Khush Karelia, whose logo, selected through a competition conducted by the art team, has become the official logo of this conference, reflecting creativity and artistic excellence. Please give him a round of applause. We also extend our sincere appreciation to Anushri Jivani, whose idea, chosen through a democratically conducted competition by the English department, has become the theme of this conference and defined its spirit. Please give her a round of applause. Special appreciation is extended to the research team for developing the flyer concept and clearly conveying the vision and purpose of this conference. This research flyer is very well received by everyone in the conference bag. Please give them a round of applause. The Baraza group names are inspired from various titles of the king of the jungle in Indian mythology, aptly reflecting the majestic lions in its many forms and temperaments. We extend our heartfelt gratitude to the Faculty of English for the conception and genesis of this meaningful initiative. Please give them a round of applause.
This vision is reflected not only in thought but also in action. Guided by the belief that small steps can make a big difference, our students undertook a meaningful service initiative. They transformed used bed sheets into 250 eco-friendly bags to be creatively designed and distributed to those in need, truly turning waste into worth. This initiative reminds us of an important truth. We do not inherit the earth from our ancestors. We borrow it from our children, a message that lies at the very heart of this conference.
With these reflections on courage, balance, and harmony, we now turn to an expression that speaks the same values through movement. As the Sufis believe, that which comes from the heart reaches the heart. We now present Kathak, a classical Indian dance form where rhythm, expression, and movement come together to tell stories of strength, grace, and tradition, echoing the spirits of maned warriors beyond frontiers. Thank you for that graceful and evocative performance that captured the spirit of tradition, discipline, and expression. Carrying the same spirit forward, we now have the honor of inviting our respected principal, Mr. Yash Saxena, to deliver the welcome address.
I am overwhelmed and very proud as the host principal. Well done, these two wonderful young girls. May I request for another round of applause for them? Good morning, distinguished guests, dear adult delegates, and young leaders from across the Round Square community. It is my great honor to welcome you to this Round Square conference hosted by the Rajkumar College, Rajkot, centered on a theme that is most urgent and hopeful, named Warriors Beyond Frontiers, the conservation of lions and the future of lion-human coexistence. Kurt Hahn, the founder of Round Square, a legendary educator, founder headmaster of Shoeless Laws Xylem in Germany and Gordeston in Scotland, laid down the guiding principle of Round Square way back in 1966, which said, "There is more in you than you think." These words resonate deeply today. Protecting one of the world's most iconic species while supporting the communities who share its landscape demands that we discover more within ourselves, more empathy, more courage, and more responsibility. As Round Square students and educators, we are guided by the Round Square discoveries. You must have noticed those wonderful cartoon characters as the RS heroes outside and while on your way inside. This conference invites you for your inquisitiveness to understand the complex ecosystems, your tenacity and courage to face difficult realities, and your compassion to value both wildlife and human lives. It calls for inventiveness and problem solving grounded in self-awareness and a strong sense of responsibility. Through communication and network, and with a deep appreciation of diversity, may we strengthen our commitment to sustainability, not just an idea, but as a lived practice. May these days inspire you to think boldly, act wisely, and believe, as Kurt Hahn did, that within each of you lies the power to shape a more balanced and hopeful future. Welcome to the conference, and the journey of discovery begin. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, sir.
To begin this journey together in unity and respect, may I now request everyone to kindly rise for the Indian National Anthem.
जन गण मन अधिनायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड़ उत्कल बंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तव शुभ नामे जागे तव शुभ आशीष मांगे गाहे तव जय गाथा जन गण मंगल दायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे.
We invite our honored guests and distinguished delegates to remain seated after this session for the conference photograph, following which we will proceed for the tea break. You all are requested to align outside in the quadrangle for the conference photograph. While we all set up for the photo, our all-girls pipe and drums band will render a small performance. All the delegations are requested to stand adjacent to your respective school flag. Our student mentors will guide you accordingly. All are requested to join for high tea after the conference photograph. We all align back here in the Bhausinji Hall sharp at 10:25 am for the keynote speech.
the trash come down. We'll just take the photograph in 2 minutes, waiting for this trash to come down. So another 2-3 minutes of patience. But you all are set, looking wonderful.
The band performance was spectacular, flawless rhythm, vibrant energy, and pure passion that electrified us all. Now let's be ready for the conference photograph.
Welcome back, everyone. We hope you enjoyed the tree bake and had a chance to connect with fellow delegates. We hope you are refreshed for the intellectually enriching sessions ahead.
Thank you for rejoining us on time. The second half of today's program brings with it a session of deep insight, inspiration, and reflection, perfectly aligned with our conference theme and spirit of Round Square.
It is now our privilege to introduce the keynote speaker of this conference, an address that will set the tone for the days to come and deepen our understanding of conservation, courage, and coexistence.
We are deeply honored to welcome our keynote speaker, Dr. Divya Bhanu C., an eminent alumnus of the Rajkumar College, Rajkot, and one of India's foremost wildlife historians, conservationists, researchers, and authors.
Dr. Divya Bhanu Singh's distinguished career spans public service, corporate leadership, and academic excellence. He has played a pivotal role in shaping India's conservation landscape through his association with national and international bodies, including the National Board for Wildlife and WWF India, where he served as president from 2007 to 2014.
Renowned for his pioneering research on the Asiatic lion and the now extinct Indian cheetah, Dr. Divya Bhanu Singh is the author of landmark works such as The End of a Trail, The Cheetah in India, and Story of Asia's Lions. His extensive archival contributions continue to guide scholars and policymakers alike.
A true champion of India's natural heritage, Dr. Divya Bhanu Singh embodies deep scholarship, visionary conservation, and unwavering public service. We are privileged to have him with us today to share his insights and wisdom with our young delegates.
Please join me in welcoming Dr. Divya Bhanusi to deliver the keynote address.
Members of the Governing Council, Principal of RKC, who's the guiding force behind this event, and distinguished guests, and above all, the young participants of the Round Square. I'm truly honored to be standing here, and I'm a little nervous for the simple reason that after seeing these two young boys, boy and girl, being so confident in the entire process of this day, it really is illuminating. And also, the wonderful dance performance that we saw. So I wonder, have I been foolhardy in trying to talk to you guys after all that? But since my name has already been put in, I might as well do some talking. Before I get on to the lion itself, let me try and tell you the close connection that the school had and has with the preservation of lions. Here are the four principals: Chester McNaughton, Waddington, Turner, and Maine. These guys also protected animals, and they were at that time when Chester McNaughton was the principal of the school, there were lions around Rajkot. And Waddington, the second principal, he actually speared cheetahs in what is today, or rather was until recently, the race course of Rajkot. At that time, hunting was a done thing, and lions were quite happily shot in these areas. The more interesting part of it all is that of Principal Winterblythe, Mark Alexander Winterblythe, who was the principal of Rajkumar College from 1948 to 1963 till he passed away. He was the principal of the school when I was a student here, and I earned a hell of a lot of respect for him because he taught us a lot about conservation. We have put his statue here, and let me tell you his specific connection to lions and the Gir forest. You see, in 1947-48, after India became independent, this whole area of Saurashtra Peninsula was governed by small principalities. And the lions were protected by Junagadh state, where most of the Gir forest is or was part of that state. And unfortunately, the Nawab of Junagadh decided to accede Junagadh to Pakistan, which was not accepted by the government of India. And it was, naturally, it didn't accede it to India. Once the Nawab went, there was a massacre of lions. The Nawab was a very keen protector of lions. And that massacre reduced the lion population considerably. It was Winterblythe who was a leading member of the Bombay Natural History Society, which is the oldest conservation society in all of Asia. He took up the cudgels for the lions, and he was the first one to count the number of lions in independent India. And he is extremely important because all the countings of lions and even more that of tigers is based on the methodologies which Winterblythe introduced in this country. So to him, I owe a personal debt, and surely all of India owes him a far greater debt for really protecting the lions at a time when protection was required the most. That said, I will now come to the Gir forest itself. The Gir forest is today a protected area which is roughly 1,200 square kilometers. And it is the source of 6 major rivers. I repeat, 6 major rivers of this peninsula. And it is because of the Gir forest that these major rivers have water in them throughout the year, and therefore the water table in the entire area surrounding the Gir forest and most of the area of the Saurashtra Peninsula the water table is maintained by the Gir forest. So, the importance of the Gir forest is, of course, the lion. Lion is the mega species, or it is a species at the top of the food chain, right? If you protect the lions, all other animals get protected. And if all other animals get protected, the forest gets protected. If the forest gets protected, the waters get protected. If the waters get protected, then the human beings have a supply of water. And therefore, it's a very crucial conservation point. We are not only protecting lions for the sake of the lions. Indeed, we should protect lions for the sake of the lion. But more importantly, in my opinion, it is the name of the lion which gives protection to the environment and which gives protection to human beings' needs, the basic needs of water. With that said, I think I'll move on. I don't think there's much to see in my face. Okay, this is your Asiatic lion. Oftentimes I have been asked, and this is for my young friends, by the way, oftentimes I have been asked, what is the difference between Asiatic lions and African lions? Oftentimes it has been said that our Asiatic lions are smaller than the African lions, which is not so, certainly not so. I have done a research on this, and our biggest lions are as big as anything you find in Africa. But the mane of our lions is smaller than that of African lions. Also, please note the hair on top of its head. The hair, or mane as it is called, of Asiatic lions above the head is sparse, and therefore you can see more prominently, usually more prominently, the ears, which you don't see that prominently in most African lions. Also, the tuft of the tail, which you can't see here, in Asiatic lions it's very pronounced. In African lions it is very small. Then there is something called the belly fold. Asiatic lions have a loose belly fold, unlike the African lions. They say that this is because of inbreeding. This is what the geneticists of today have identified because of a bottleneck that the lions went through, according to them, about 20,000 years ago, not in 1900 as it is rather popularly believed. So, I have a story about this lion. Oh, sorry. This lion was patrolling his territory. He is moving ahead, and I was, with my camera, moving in reverse. I was walking down in reverse, and he is coming towards me. You can see that there is no malice in his eyes. He is simply doing his own job. He is probably irritated by the fact that I was standing in his passage, but there is no malice whatsoever. And he was quite nice about it. I walked in front of him for about 6 kilometers, and then he himself decided to go inside the jungle and sort of moved on. Now, this is interesting. This shows the range of the lion in historical times, okay? So, the last lion in Europe was recorded by Herodotus. Those of you who know European history will know Herodotus was a historian of ancient Greece. And when the Persians attacked Athens in the middle of the 5th century, the luggage train of the army, which had camels, were attacked by European lions, and those lions only attacked the camels, didn't bother about human beings, and played hell into the Persian army. Now, I think this thing has a mind of its own, sorry. This is, if you see in historical times, right from the Atlantic coast of North Africa, the Maghreb, and going right from Greece to Palamau, that is eastern India, was the home of the Asiatic lion. Okay? This got completely wiped out for 2 or 3 basic reasons. The reasons were that the lion was hunted, it was royal game, kings and princes hunted lions, and also lions prefer grasslands and they prefer scrub jungles. And as human population increases, the grassland and the scrub jungles are converted into farmlands and so on and so forth. And if the home goes, the animal goes with it. If somebody is chasing you, you can hide in your house. But if your house is destroyed, where will you go? So we humans went and destroyed, to put it in human terms, the house of the lion. And in the last 200 to 300 years, from Arabia to this place, the lions were completely destroyed. The last lion to be shot outside the Saurashtra Peninsula was in 1942 in the Fars province of Iran. Lions had been completely wiped out of India long before that. The last lion to be shot or encountered in India was in Guna around 1890 or somewhere thereabouts, and another one at Mount Abu. And today, during the British period, from about 1770 to 1890, a researcher, a young researcher, a very fine chap who's now doing his research on leopards, he did a survey of all the British records and came up with a figure that there were at least 4,000 lions which have been reported in the British period from about 1770s to 1890. Now, when you say there were 4,000 lions in such a huge area of India, it means that they were already on the way out. I hope I'm coming through. Please stop me if I'm not making sense, okay? All right, so this is India, and that's the Gir forest, all right? That is now the only home of Asiatic lions anywhere in the world. And this is the only place in the world where you find lions outside of Africa. The Saurashtra Peninsula, as you can see, is an area of about 60,000 square kilometers. Today, the lion population is about 891. Well, this is not, I mean, after all, lions are not like your wonderful NCC cadets that you say, okay, stand in line and get yourself counted. But the point is that there are counting methods and they are fairly accurate with a plus or minus possibilities on either side. But the last census, which was done in 2025, last year, threw up a figure of 891 lions, out of which, now this is the interesting part, out of which only about less than, 350 lions or so are in the Gir forest. The rest are all outside Gir. They are reported from an area of 35,000 square kilometers. And you find lions knocking around in urban areas, which is remarkable. And there is a lot of give and take between human beings and lions in this particular area, where people have a special regard for lions, which is remarkable. Lions are not hunted here by most people. There were some people who used to hunt lions, but that's over and done with. And because they are not hunted, you find them outside. Recently, I saw a TV clip of a hotel in Junagadh, and the hotel camera recorded two lionesses entering the hotel at about 2 o'clock in the morning and sort of knocking around in the hotel and going back. The hotel owner was asked, well, what do you have to say about it? He very nonchalantly said, well, they were looking around, they looked at it and has gone back. So that's the sort of thing. Now, I have another interesting story about lions to tell you, which happened to, where I was involved in that. I worked for Tata's, and I was in charge of They're hotels in North India, the Taj group of hotels. I'm sure some of you heard of it and so on and so forth. And we started a resort in Gir. Unfortunately, we are not staying there. Anyway, that's neither here nor there. This resort is right on the Hiran Nadi, one of the rivers of the of Gir forest. A lot of cows go to drink water there. One lioness ran after a cow, and the cow ran inside the hotel compound, in the resort compound, and killed the cow in the porch of the hotel. So the general manager there, who was a city-bred character, I was in Delhi, he phones me up and says, "Sir, there is a lioness which has killed a cow in the porch of my hotel. What do I do?" I said, "Listen, I'm 800 miles away, something like 1,200 kilometers. What answer can I give you?" No, sir, but I'm very frightened. What do I do?" So I got fed up of the guy. I said, "Listen, shut all the doors, phone the forest department, ask them to do something about it." No, but I'm very frightened. I said, "Okay, you are a chef, I'll give you an idea. Get rid of that cow, get rid of that lion, rather a lioness, get the cow in and serve beef steak for the rest of the week in the hotel." So he got mighty annoyed with me, said, "You are fooling with me." I said, "But what else you want me to do? Let her eat the damn cow and let her go. Or call the forest department and ask them to take her away." So what I'm trying to tell you is that this is how close the lions have become to human beings. This is a close-up of the Gir forest, the Gir Sanctuary and National Park, and that's Junagadh, the Girnar mountain, which is a small sanctuary. You will be passing by it, and that is the Barda Hills near Porbandar and Jamnagar, where lions have recently gone there of their own, and they are making this as one of the homes for the lion. So this is the part of southern Saurashtra, and they are all on the sea coast. And just as human beings like to take the wind on the sea coast, lions go there and have a wonderful time by themselves sitting on the beach. Now these two gentlemen are rather good. They were fast asleep when I approached them, and they both got up, looked at me, and they wondered, who the hell is this and why is he bothering about us? So one chap decided to keep looking at me. The other chap decided to get the hell out of there. He said, I'm being disturbed in my siesta and I'm going. Right. So this guy goes to sleep, the other guy goes away. Now, note the color of these lions. They are grayish. Okay? This is typical of Asiatic lions. It's not typical of African lions. All right? And look at the tuft of the tail. Look at the amount of hair there is on that tail. In African lions, you will never find so much of hair on the tuft of the tail. They have killed something. They had killed a nilgai and they were therefore resting, and therefore the stomachs are bursting, so you don't see the abdominal fold. But otherwise, this is the sort of thing that you will see in a well-fed lion. Also, usually male lions live in pairs. Reason is very simple. They live in pairs because it is easier to hunt. They are lazy creatures, okay? If you feed them, they'll sleep for 20 hours a day. They got no problem in life. But if you don't feed them and if they have to hunt, then they will hunt in pairs. They will also take away the food of the lionesses which they may have killed. Asiatic lions usually are found, male lions are found solitary, unlike the African lions, where the male lions usually, at least the mega male, alpha male, stays with the pride. In Asiatic lions, this behavior is not pronounced. Now these are three cousin sisters, three lionesses. And this one, who's very much concerned about my presence, as you can see, I had unfortunately left my camera bag and I had moved, they were moving towards me, so I moved away from them, and she took away my camera bag and bit the hell out of it, which was rather sad. Now, lions, okay, let me get back to this. I'm sure a lot of you guys have cats at home. Yeah? This is also a cat, okay? There are 41 different types of cats in the world. Lion, tiger, leopard, snow leopard, jaguar, all that sort of thing. This is the only cat which lives in a group like human beings. Human beings live in a group, right? This is the only cat which lives in a group, and if two lionesses have given birth to cubs, they'll feed anybody's cub, no problem. So here you can see these 4 or 5 cubs, and one lioness is sitting here, the other is there, and they're happily living together in a group which is called a gregarious group. Human beings, all of us, live in a group, right? So here is a gregarious group of lions. Now these are some other predators. This is a jungle cat. It's much rarer to see a jungle cat than a lion, because lions are very noisy. They live in groups. They're large animals and therefore easy to see. She is a very secretive kind of cat, but this is a wild jungle cat, and I was very lucky to get this photograph. I'm showing you, these are pictures of the other animals that inhabit the Gir. Here is a leopard. Now, because the Gir forest and the surrounding areas is dominated by lions, there are very few leopards in the Gir, less than 200 I am told. The reason is the lion and the leopard compete for the same food, same animals, and therefore the lions do not tolerate leopards. And I have seen a lion chasing a leopard and sending it up a tree and waiting down below at the foot of the tree, waiting for the leopard to drop down or something. Of course, the leopard didn't. I mean, he was too damn clever to do that. Otherwise, he would be eaten by the lion. This is the hyena, the striped hyena. Okay? This animal is a scavenger. He is the fellow who keeps the jungle clean. He is the fellow who will go and follow up any natural kill of any lion or any leopard, and he will go and eat up what is left over and clean up the place. Unlike the hyenas in Africa, which live in a group or a pack, India's striped hyenas are solitary creatures. They are just by themselves, they don't get mixed up with others, and are very nocturnal, but when they see a kill, they will go for it. So you'd be very lucky if you see this. These are the spotted deer, the main prey base of the lion, and they are, I'm told, about more than 30,000 of these in that entire region. And that is the main prey base of the lion in the Gir. This is the sambar, which is a much bigger deer and the favorite food of the lion, but they are not so numerous like the spotted deer. But it is a superb animal and it likes to wallow in the mud. You can see there's a lot of mud on his hair because it has wallowed and it's come out. And when it knocked into me. Now, this is a very interesting picture. This lion was following a lioness, and I was in its way, and I was walking in front of him. But look, what I'm trying to show you here, look at the size of the leaf. This is a teak tree, teak, which is used in building. Traditionally, houses were built out of this teak tree. Tectona grandis, as it is called. But this part of India, in the Gir forest, the teak is very stunted. It's not robust. While the teak tree is stunted, the leaves are very big. And look at the size of this leaf. It's as big as the head of this animal. This is unique. You will not see this kind of a flora-fauna comparison anywhere in Africa. The interesting story is that as I was walking away, I had a small car which was lying on the side with my wife and my 2 children in it. And this lion decided to walk past the car and stopped there and peeped into the window. That was the time when my wife wanted to divorce me and leave me. But luckily she didn't, and this fellow thought that they were not worth eating, so he moved on. Now, this is the same animal. He was with a lioness. I went too close to him, all right? And he attacked me. He attacked me and stood there. You can see the anger in his eyes, and you can see the tail up, telling me that, look here, you crossed the red line, now you better get the hell out of here, otherwise I'm going after you. Now, the thing to do when a lion attacks, if you run, then you are pudding. You simply have to stay put. If you stay put, most of the time, it is what is called defensive aggression. He will tell you, look, get the hell out of here. I'm going back. You go your way. But if you run, he's going to chase you, and maybe that's the end of it. The interesting thing with this guy was that he is one of the 2 very famous lions, Akbar and Sultan. This is Sultan. And I had a puggy. I don't know if you guys know what a puggy is. Pug means a footmark, right? And puggies are people who follow the footmarks of wild animals, and by looking at the footmarks, or pug marks as they are called, they can tell you which animal is where, what they are doing. And one of the oldest puggy, who is now dead and gone, was a man called Ablaba. And he had seen these 2 lions from the time they were little cubs. And these lions, though totally wild, recognized him. So I told him, I said, how close can you get to these lions? So he said, very close. I said, I didn't believe him. So he said, is your stomach all right? I said, yeah. Why? He said, okay, then I'll take you close to the lions. So we tracked these lions, this pair, this chap, Sultan. I don't know where Akbar was, but Sultan arrived. And this puggy sat down on the ground, and he asked me to sit next to him. And these puggies make the noise of the Maldharis, the way they call their buffaloes home, all right? So he started making that sound. It's something like a yodel, not quite a yodel, but something like a yodel. And this lion heard the yodel sound and came straight for us. And he sat down in front of us so close that I could smell his mouth, his breath. Now, this may sound that I'm very courageous, this, that, and the other. Let me tell you, it's not so. I was truly, truly, truly frightened. And it's not something I recommend anybody should do. He then got up, saw that we didn't have any food with us. So he went behind us, and he was so close to Ablaba, the puggy, that I think his mane touched his back. But he didn't do anything to us, and he went away. There was another interesting story, not about this lion, but another lioness. She had killed a buffalo. This was many, many years ago. I'm talking of a time when there were no rules in the Gir. Nobody used to go there. And therefore you could walk in the Gir. Now you can't, all right? Because there are far too many tourists. It's not a nice thing to do because there can be problems one way or the other. At that time, there was a gentleman, some of you who've been around in the Gir forest for long will remember, a chap called Sanat Chavan. He was the person in charge of the Gir forest. So I told him, I said, look, I have never photographed a lion at night, I want to photograph a lion at night. So he said, okay, there is a lioness which has killed a buffalo, so let's go and photograph it at night. So we went there, and he took with him a domestic pig. So when the pig is left alone, it starts bleating. So how to attract the lions? So he took this domestic pig, and both of us went there. And if you have seen the old jeeps, I had put my hand like this, and I was photographing the lioness and the two cubs in front. And Sanat Chavan had kept the bleating pig between his 2 feet. While we were photographing in front, we didn't know there was another lion around. A huge male lion came and pulled the pig out from between his feet. And it was bloody dangerous, because we never thought there was a lion there, and there he was lurking around. So this is the sort of thing the lions do in India, which is typical. It does not happen elsewhere. I am not suggesting that there is no lion-human conflict. There is. But it is to the minimal possible. Now, what is the future? The problem is really that as these lions, as I have said earlier, are in an area of 35,000 square kilometers, it is because they are territorial, all right? Each lion has a territory of its own and will not tolerate any other lions. So these lions keep moving away far from where they were born or brought up, because the older lions throw them out. Now, as they move more and more away, more and more at a greater distance from the Gir, that feeling for the lions may not be there. And that's where human-animal conflicts are expected to rise. Nearer the Gir, there is a symbiotic relationship between lions and the farmers. There's a lot of sugarcane growing and a lot of mangoes growing. The world famous Kesar mangoes come from here. So these farmers who grow sugarcane find that in their farms, nilgai, an antelope, cheetal, they all go in there. Wild pigs go in there to eat the sugarcane, and the lions follow them to eat these guys. So when the farmer finds that there are lions or a pride of lions or an individual lion in his field, he is the happiest guy on God's earth, because he's got unpaid security. All the other animals run away. So when the forest department guys come to try and take the lions back into the forest, they say, please don't take them, leave them here. We don't mind them. We are not bothered about them. They are doing our work. I have also seen a lion sitting under a mango orchard, a mango tree in a mango orchard. And I asked the owner of the guy, I said, what about this lioness? She's sitting here, you are doing your own business, and she's relaxing here. Why don't you try and tell the forest department to take her away? Don't you find it dangerous? He said, no, not at all. As long as this lion is there, no one will come to try and steal my mangoes. You know, it's unpaid security for him. So here is a symbiotic relationship around the Gir. That may reduce as you go away from the Gir. Okay? So this is a major issue with these guys. The second point is, of course, that 891 is the total population of Asiatic lions, which in the long term may not be a large enough population to maintain the genetic variability for their survival. But we don't know this. Saurashtra is a unique peninsula. It has a unique floral and faunal history. For instance, here in Saurashtra, until recently, you did not see rhesus macaque monkeys at all. I believe now they've started coming, and that's bad. In Saurashtra Peninsula, there are no bears. There are bears all over India, sloth bears. But in the Saurashtra Peninsula, there are no bears. And therefore, the lions are a unique part of the ecosystem where they were completely wiped out in rest of India. Saurashtra is the only home of the Asiatic lion today. And I'm proud to say that my school and its principals and its students have been keen protector of lions, and I wish and I pray that this happy symbiotic relationship between this school and the lions continues for a long time. I've taken a lot of your time. Thank you for your patience. I know I may not have done half as good as a job as your lovely girls did. Thank you very much.
Question answer break. So, would anybody like to pose a question to our keynote speaker? Anyone? Yes, please. Yes. Just speak loudly.
Can wildlife conservation and human development go hand in hand? If yes, how?
Wildlife conservation and human development.
Yep, I got it. On a mega scale, the answer is no. Because human development basically means more extraction of natural resources and more, shall I say, occupation of nature and natural areas. For instance, let's take the question of India. We are 1.5 billion people, which is one hell of a lot, all right? And we are all over the damn place. Now what happens here is we are occupying areas which are actually areas for nature. And therefore, one of the major problems the lions are facing is that more and more people are building more and more stuff into their corridors which they use. But that said, what we can do is that if you develop the human resources in a controlled manner, then in that case, you can preserve your natural habitat. You will be sad to know that the total percentage of national parks and sanctuaries in India is less than 5% of the land mass. That's all that we have been able to protect in our life. But this is the only country, and I am proud of it, that in spite of our population and in spite of the growing needs of human beings, not a single animal other than the cheetah has gone extinct in the last 100 years, which is a remarkable achievement.
What was your inspiration to be a wildlife conservator?
Oh dear, I wish you hadn't asked me that question, because when I answer it, I don't think you'll like me. I was a shikari, okay? I hunted animals. Then when I started seeing that animals were becoming very rare, I took to the camera, okay? When I took the camera, I realized that it was far more difficult to shoot a good photograph than it was to shoot an animal. Because if you had a high-power rifle,
Why are Asiatic lions only present in the cave forest, and why have they not adapted to move to other places in Asia?
Yeah, I'm sorry, what did she say? Why are Asiatic lions only in Gir? Why haven't they adapted to the outside jungles?
okay, very good question. See, they were already from Palestine to Palamau, from Palestine, which is near Israel, or Gaza, from Gaza to Bihar, there were lions. But they were shot out, they were hunted out. Their habitat was destroyed. So, that's how they died out. If they grow in numbers, they will adapt. For instance, at the turn of the century, it was believed that somebody said there were only 12 lions, which is not true. But there were very few lions in 1900, all right? Today you have almost 900 lions. Unofficially, if you ask the forest department, they'll tell you that there are probably 1,000 lions. So they are adapting. The question now for us as human beings is, do they have the place to adapt and go out? If we give them the space, they will adapt.
I'm sorry?
Can conservation efforts keep pace with the expanding population of the land? Can we meet those demands?
That's a very remarkable question. Yeah, I'm glad you asked me this. Right now, conservation has not kept up with the increase in lion population. But what has kept up with the increasing lion population is the attitude of human beings towards lions. You see, fortunately, in this peninsula, most of the people are vegetarians. They're not hunters. There is some illegal hunting going on. Some deer are hunted, this, that, and the other. But the food base of the lion is there. Secondly, as you know, now this is something which I'm going to make a statement. Some of you may not like it, but it's a fact. We consider the cow as the mother. But the moment the cow stops giving milk, we throw the mother out. All right? And today, because of our present government, nobody kills a cow. Otherwise, cows were killed, their skins were removed, and some of the people used to eat the cows. Now we don't eat the cows. So they are running all over the place. And to that extent, inadvertently, thanks to our political dispensation, there is a lot of food for lions outside the sanctuary. And therefore, in that sense, yes, development is keeping pace with lions.
My name is Derek. I have a question that when this gay forest, so when the government started saving the land, are they decreasing or increasing
The population of lions?
Yes, in the gay forest.
Okay, the effort of preserving lions started in 1879 under the Junagadh state, where the Nawabs of Junagadh said that these are my lions, I will not allow anybody to shoot them. Of course, some lions were shot, they gave permission, but by and large, the lions were protected, and because of that protection, the lion population has steadily grown. You know, in the 1960s here in Saurashtra, some lions were poisoned and killed because they were going out and killing a lot of cows. These days, it does not happen. But because of the conservation effort, particularly in the Gir forest itself, which is really the nursery of lions, where do the lions increase from? Not from outside, not from 35,000 square kilometers, but from 1,200 square kilometers. And it's because of protection in that area, the lion population has grown and migrated outside. Good question.
Thank you, sir, for that enlightening and inspiring address. Your words have given us much to reflect upon and will undoubtedly resonate with us throughout the conference.
As a token of our appreciation and respect, we would now like to felicitate Dr. Divya Bhanu C. May we invite our principal, Mr. Yash Saxena, to kindly present a token of love. Dr. Divya Bhanu C.
Thank you, sir, and thank you once again, Dr. Divya Bhanu C., for gracing us with your presence and sharing your invaluable insights.
Ladies and gentlemen, we will now be breaking for the balance of the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your kind attention, please? We have some important housekeeping announcements to share. All the student delegates are requested to return to their dormitories and change into their travel attire. Adult delegates, your changing rooms are in the junior house on my left. All delegates are requested to report in front of the girls' boarding house by 12 noon to load your luggage onto your assigned buses. Please fill your conference water bottles before boarding the bus. Once your luggage has been loaded, all delegates are requested to proceed to Drangadhra Hall for lunch. We intend to leave for Gir sharp by 1300 hours. Your designated buses for travel to Gir are indicated on the rear side of your lanyards. Thank you.